Hi friends, it is Animal Day today and we're going to be making an animal that starts with an X. Do you know what it is? It's an X-ray fish. So this is what it's going to look like when we're done. Isn't he cute? So you can see, just like the photograph in the email that I sent you, you can see his bones. We're going to pretend these are the X-ray fish's bones because we can see through his skin. An X-ray fish's skin is what we call translucent, and that means you can see through it, just like you can see through a window. You can see through his skin. So I had asked you in the email if you can find his backbone. So look carefully. Can you see it? It's this long line. That's his backbone. There, and you can see it. And if you look really closely, you can see little tiny bones coming off of it. Isn't that so amazing? I think it's really cool. So before we get started with our craft, let's get our calendar. And we are Tuesday today. So if you look at the Tuesday column, this is what we're going to be tracing. What is the name of each of these numbers? I'm going to give you a minute so you can say them out loud. The first one is a 2, and the next one is an 8, and that makes the number 28. So let's trace that in together. Tuesday, April 28th. And I want to know, how many days do we have left in April? Let's count and find out. So this is today that we just traced in, and we have these days left. How many is that? 1, 2. Only 2 more days of April. And what comes after April? January, February, March, April, May, which is a really nice weather month, fingers crossed. So let's put this away and we can get our craft ready. You kind of need a lot of supplies today. You need your X-ray fish materials out of the bag I sent home, and you'll need some scissors and a black marker, and you're going to need 2 different types of glue, both a glue stick and some runny glue. And then inside that packet I sent home, there was a little tiny Ziploc bag, and inside there are these Q-tips we're going to use for the bones. So you'll need 4 of those and save the rest because we're going to use those for another project. And then take out 1 of the eyeballs. There should be more than 1. I think there's 2 in there. But just take out 1. We're going to save the other eyeball for another project. And once you have all that together, we can get started. So I'm going to show you one more time what he's going to look like when he's done. And do you see the letter here? What's the name of this letter? It's an X, right? And then we're going to put the fish around it. Okay, so I'm going to angle this down so that you can see mine, and we can get started. So first you should have a piece of paper that looks like this. And up in the corner here, I've dotted out the letter of the week, which is X. You're going to take your time to trace the X, and there's 2 of them. And I want you to make sure that you start your X in this corner at the top. And then when you're done, it will say X is for X-ray. So go ahead, take your time, start at the top, do 1 long line down, jump up, do the other long line down. Then let's come down to this X. We're going to do a long line diagonally down, jump up, and do this line down. Now our paper says X is for X-ray fish. All right, so for the next step, we're going to glue on our X. For this, because it's paper, I want you to use a glue stick. And when you glue it down, I want to make sure that you don't cover up your words. Make sure you glue it over to the side a bit here. So I will do mine while you work on yours. And I like to make sure that I get the outside of the X, all those corners, so that none of it's sticking up. So you can do the same. And then I'm going to turn it over. Make sure I'm not covering up the words. And then I'm going to press it down all around that X. So you can finish doing that. Take your time. I'm a little bit fast because I've done this several times before. Now, in addition to your X, you should have some orange pieces. There should be 4 pieces total, and I wonder if you can tell what they are. What do you think this one is? This is going to be his face. So when we're done with it, I'm going to put that in the front of the fish. Any guesses what this might be? This is going to be his tail. So once that's cut out, that's going to go at the back of the fish. And you can do it the other way too, depending on which way you'd like your fish to face. And then how about these? These are going to be his fins. So I'm going to place one at the bottom and one at the top. Okay? So now we know where all the pieces are going. We have 2 pieces that still need to be cut out. I've done these for you, so you don't have too much to cut out. But I'd like you to cut out his face and his tail. Now, for his face, you're going to follow this line. And this line here, you're not going to cut. Do you know what that's going to be? That's going to be his smile. In fact, why don't we take our black marker and we can do that, trace that right now, so you don't mistake it when you're cutting. All right, so I have my scissors. Where does my thumb go? My thumb faces the sun. Make sure yours is the same and you've got it in your right hand. Everyone's right-handed in our class, so that's nice and easy to remember. And then we're going to hold our paper, start cutting. I'm going to make sure I turn my paper as I go around those edges. My scissors are going to stay right where they are. There we go. I've got my face. I'm just going to place that there for now. And I'm going to do my tail next. You can do the same. All right. So take your time with that. If you need a few more moments, please press pause on the video. What do you think we're going to do next? We're going to get our glue stick and glue on his face and his tail and his 2 fins. The fins, it doesn't matter which way you put them. One's a little bit smaller than the other, so whichever you would like to be on the bottom and the top is completely fine. All right, I'm going to flip my face over and put glue on this side so that when I stick it down, that black smile is facing up. Make sure I press that down nicely. There you go. Now we're going to do the tail or the fins. Doesn't really matter what the order is. But we're going to glue each of these onto our fish and press them down. Okay, I'm going to work on my fin next. And I think the trick with these fins is just to make sure that this long piece is sticking out away from the X. So for instance, this piece, I don't want it to go like that because that won't look like a fish. Make sure this long piece is sticking down away from the X. Okay. He's looking pretty good, isn't he? But we're missing one important thing. Because our X-ray fish's skin is translucent, what can we see when we look at him? We can look through his skin and see his bones. So I'm going to put my 4 bones over here, and I'm going to take out my runny glue next. And what you're going to do is just lay a little line the same length as your Q-tip so that we can lie our Q-tip on the glue. So I'm going to put a line here, and I'm going to place my Q-tip on that runny glue. We're going to have to leave these for a little while to dry. It's going to take a bit of time. I'm going to put another bone here. Leave that to dry. I'm going to do one on this part of the X. And one more on this part of the X. Okay, now he's looking more like an X-ray fish, isn't he? One last thing we need to do. Does anybody know what it is? What's he missing? He can't see anything. So let's give him an eye. We're just giving him one eye because it's just one side of his face you can see. So if you look at my face right now, you can only see one eye because we're looking at half of his face. So we're going to put a dab of glue here, about in the spot you think where the eye should go. Press that down and we'll let that dry. So, ta-da! Our X-ray fish is just about ready. Great job, everybody. I hope you liked learning a little bit about these X-ray fish. I think they're pretty cool fish. See you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.